What the F? Is it time to sell it all? Because we might have just faced our final boss. That's right. Jim Cramer spoke. President Trump said, "What the F" yesterday? That's right. They don't know what they're doing. What happened, anyways? Stocks went to new all time highs. The NASDAQ eked out another record today. And the S&P is getting really, really close. It's within a whisker. Trump even flip flopped on this issue right here, and people didn't really care. Nvidia closed at a new all-time high today, up by 4.3%. Nice. And the S&P, all we have to do to get to 610 is only a little bit more. We're looking for roughly 3 more points. If we can make it there, it gets a lot easier to go even higher. So what the F? What's the issue? Oh, it's Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer says that AI stocks are going to climb as the DeepSeek threat is over. It's like it never happened. What did he say? The nightmare is officially coming to a close. That was as of yesterday's close, 21 hours ago. What does that mean? The nightmare is here. Oh my goodness. He also said that looking back, it wasn't all that meaningful for tech stocks. I think that means it's over. Right? What the F, Jim? Am I going to have to drop another F bomb? Maybe. We talked about this earlier in the week. The U.S. is preparing to take action against its targets. That sounds like today, 5%. That's right. You're going to get fired like Spain if you don't spend 5%. The move is not meant to actually escalate. And at a time when stocks are so ready to go up, this looks like it might be the main issue. If DeepSeek 1.0 was the issue here, now let's pop over here to NVIDIA, because I just recently sold it. And I talked about the stairway to heaven. We're notching higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. We're leaving even more gaps here. 1 more gap, 2 more gaps. This is the king of AI. So if we're going to get a huge move higher for these chip stocks, NVIDIA should be the leader. The really important thing here is that if Trump is saying, what the F, if the NASDAQ went to new all-time highs, if NVIDIA is already at a new all-time high as of today, we're not quite at 610 yet. Don't leaders lead? Yes, that's exactly what leaders do. And so far this year, that's exactly what NVIDIA has been doing. If we look here to year to date, sorry, not yearly, let's go to year to date. NVIDIA's up 13%, not bad. Why? Because Apple stinks, Amazon's down, Google's down, CRM down, Tesla down. So if the S&P is green, it's largely due to some of these stocks. Like what? Like NVIDIA, the biggest stonk in the entire market now, 3.77 trillion. What a stud. Looking here to Microsoft, 3.66. Looking to Apple, 3.0. Wow, there's a huge gap being left here. That's right. So if leaders lead and followers follow, who's leading right now? Who's at new all-time highs? Microsoft, NVIDIA, going to get a golden cross here. That's good. So as long as we stay over, like I mentioned with Palantir, I said, hey, I'm not sure what's going to go on here. I'm also not really going to buy new right here. I do not get excited to buy a stock at 100 when it was recently at 10, but the technical analysis works just fine. I said, if we remain in a new all-time high or have a win, what's going to likely happen? Probably going to keep going up. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. That's Palantir. That's a leader. NVIDIA, joining the club. NVIDIA's way up now. Let's look to Netflix. Oops, I want to get my lines back. Why? My stairway to heaven is really important. Looking here to Netflix, that was when everyone's like, oh my God, it's gapping up to an incredible number into all-time highs. It's never going to go higher. Then it went up, another 30%. Nice. 30%, another win. That's right, another win. So these massive W's are so important here. If we can make it to 610, or if the S&P can now get back above 610, it'll be the same thing happening here to NVIDIA. It's called the wall of worry. What happens with the wall of worry? When we get to the top, there's not very much to worry about anymore. Or we make a YouTube video that says, sell it all. Or, oh my God, what's happening? So in the next 18 months, that's to the end of 2026. This is as of yesterday when it was published, updated today. 100? Yes. In the next 18 months, they're going to have a breakthrough. Uh-oh. That seems like a problem. If we look to what happened this week, I'm going to ask you for a huge favor. If you could please consider smashing that thumbs up or subscribing to the channel, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. I don't know if this guy knows how to sit in a chair, but he looks a little bit awkward here. He's like, man, I want to lean back as far as possible. That was NATO this week. Powell testified twice, and we're going up. So reaction to the news, we're on the doorstep of going to new all-time highs. As remember, the E-mini futures or ES is going to go there first because of rollover, which recently happened. That's the little purple thing. That means that we get an artificial 1% boost. So we're nearly there. Did we actually make it? Let's zoom out for a second. Let's actually make this easier. So what I'm looking at right here is I'm looking at the H, which means the high. 6152, 6163, sorry, 6162, 6166, 6160. Ooh, awfully close. That's why I have all these arrows pointed here, because that's a lot of resistance. That's where the bears are going to meet the salmons. And only the strong salmons survive. So if you're still watching and didn't get wiped out, you're a strong salmon. All right, Trump spoke, Powell spoke. We got GDP revisions coming out tomorrow. And then we got PCE. Is this really going to move the needle? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but the reason why I don't think it will, again, keyword being think, is that we had much bigger fish to fry this week. Wars on multiple fronts, trade wars, military war. This issue with the procurement for the NATO stuff is also very important. So Powell testified twice. This should be bullish. This, I'm not so sure. I don't know. Like, we already know Q1 was bad, but we were told it was really bullish. If it goes to 0.2, well, that's a really big swing. If you look at GDP now, we're currently tracking at 3.39. So into the first quarter, we actually had negative 2.73, which just means sometimes the data conflicts. Sometimes it's hard to get a true signal or to cut through the noise. But Trump did 5%. They're all spending. Yeah, 5% apiece. That is a big deal. And Trump wants a command center. He wants a golden dome. Is that going to work? I'm not sure. China's trying to seize the moment right now. And they're doubling up on support because they need their people to spend. Read this right here too, right? Drone suggests they're getting help from that country. Isn't that the one that Trump just said you can buy oil from? It is. Read this too. Whoa. That's right, whoa. They better be spending 5%. He's like, yeah, I'm so elated. I only spent 5%. Trump's like, you had better spend more. I'm going to obliterate you. Trump made some good words today. Some people are a little bit less sold on it than Trump, like Sri Kumar. I respect him. Here's his takeaway right here. He thinks we're going to go to 5,400 or 540 SPY before the end of the year. And Trump's Powell's just like, hey, I'm just trying to do my job, man. I'm just trying to keep inflation low. People have their gerbs, and he's doing a great job. All right, now let's talk about a couple of quick stocks. I showed you the ones I currently own. These are the ones I'm planning to order. I want to focus in on SH. So in the spirit of talking about a bearish signal, we have SH and PSQ here. I've talked about these before, and on Thursday's video, I'm going to go through and talk about this more. But if you click on the second or third link in the description, it'll land you here. And at the very bottom right, it has all of my notes for this idea. Go through and read them and come back prepared to talk about it tomorrow. It's a 4-to-1 risk reward. So if you're bearish, that is the signal you want. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.